Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon, a Bradenton man is found murdered on his front porch. Sheriff's investigators are on the scene right now, and so is ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick, who joins us live in Bradenton with the latest. Jess?
Good afternoon, Scott. Deputies are not yet releasing the name of the 62-year-old man that was killed in this home behind me. He was killed on his front porch. They're not saying either how he died, just that there was trauma to his body. They are sure that it was a homicide, and his killer is still on the loose this afternoon. According to police, a neighbor was on his way to work and noticed the man's front door was open. He looked in and found the man's body lying in the doorway and called 911. This all happened around 4 a.m. Police don't have any suspects or persons of interest at this point, so anyone who has seen anything suspicious in this neighborhood, they're asked to contact police.
We know that the family of Jabez Spann is keeping close contact with us.
Police say this man does have a criminal record and that he was arrested a few times in the past, so they're a little bit familiar with him. Again, they're not releasing his name at this point in time until they notify his family. Reporting live in Bradenton, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you. New developments out of California today where police say the Golden State Killer is now in custody after a manhunt that spanned more than 40 years. ABC's Diane Macedo has the latest.
The FBI spent the night gathering evidence from Joseph DeAngelo's home, taking large bags of evidence and searching the backyard. Investigators say the former police officer is responsible for at least 12 murders, 45 rapes, and more than 100 burglaries that spread fear across California through the 70s and the 80s.
We found the needle in the haystack, and it was right here in Sacramento.
They surveyed him for several days and collected DNA evidence in the trash that authorities say links the 72-year-old to the crime spree.
We've always believed, at least for many years, that this case would begin and end with DNA. This defendant's been able to live free in a nice suburb in Sacramento. Our team is going to work hard to make sure that he never gets out.
According to authorities, a masked DeAngelo armed with a gun or knife would break into his victims' homes at night, sometimes tying up the man of the house and piling dishes on his back. He would then allegedly rape the woman of the house, threatening to kill them both if he heard the dishes tumble. Investigators say the suspect even called some of his victims after the attacks. Among DeAngelo's possible victims, 18-year-old Janelle Cruz, who was found murdered in her family's home, and Lyman and Charlene Smith. Both were found beaten to death with a log from their fireplace. But despite the brutality, the Smith's daughter says if convicted, she wants DeAngelo's life to be spared.
Save us lots a bunch of money and agony and drama, and that I would like him to be in general population where he has to live every moment of his life in terror.
Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
For more on the latest breaking news across the country and right here on the Suncoast, as well as First Alert weather forecasts, you can download our app. Find it at the App Store, WWSB, or My Suncoast. Let's get a check now on our Thursday afternoon weather. Meteorologist John Scalzi joins us, and yeah, we've had a few nice days this week, and yes. One more today.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's not going to be all that bad.
Right.
There will be some showers around, but not too bad. And even Saturday looks to be okay. Things start to heat up again.
Yeah,
as
that's
we
what
get
I
into
was
Sunday.
Thinking about.
Yeah, it's coming. Summer's here. Summer's almost here. So we're looking at some pretty nice weather today. Lakewood Ranch webcam put it into motion, shows some pretty quiet conditions. We had a little bit of cloud cover around this morning, and we'll have some off and on throughout the day today. A little bit of clouds coming in from Gulf waters, really not making any rainfall. These are not those kind of clouds. They're really shallow clouds. Aloft, the air is still very dry, so just not getting a whole lot. You can see the very cellular nature of these fair weather clouds as they build little dots, mostly in inland areas as the land heats. Back to the west, however, there's a lot more cloud cover. You'll notice that big comma-shaped cloud pattern that extends into the central and western Gulf. That's a cold front. It's headed our way. It's going to bring us that chance of showers tomorrow, but it's going to be a small chance. Right now, it is producing rain showers in and around the Atlanta area. So if you are traveling, you may want to check with your individual carrier to see if your flight has any delays whatsoever because of those storms, but so far it looks okay. We're looking at temperatures that are generally in the upper 70s. Again today, mid to upper 70s, and I think that the top out temperature today will be very similar to what it was yesterday. We'll go with about 79 for a daytime high today. And no rain in the forecast today. You may notice a little bit more moisture around when you wake up tomorrow morning, higher humidity. That's all because of shifting winds and that approaching front. We'll talk about that forecast coming up in a few. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Well, there's been an unusually high number of car burglaries in Manatee County just in the last few days. ABC 7's Marla Spence shows us what the Sheriff's Office is urging residents to do.
If you live in Manatee County, the Sheriff's Office has a warning for you. They say lock your cars. 3 communities in Bradenton has seen a high amount of car burglaries within days. These are pictures of suspected car burglars in Manatee County. The Sheriff's Department posted this on their Facebook page Wednesday night. They say communities that seen a trend of car burglaries are Gates Creek, Greenbrook Village East Community in Lakewood Ranch, and Raven Crest. Between all communities in recent days, about 17 cars were burglarized. Sheriff deputies say you should always take valuables out your car before locking it. The Sheriff's Office is continuing to investigate what they call a large string of burglaries. If you have any information about any of these thefts, you are urged to call Manatee County Crime Stoppers. I'm Marla Spence reporting for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. 4 suspected burglars from Bradenton are behind bars after allegedly robbing 2 homes near Clark Road and I-75. The first happening at a home on Goldfinch Street. Deputies say someone startled the 4 men inside, the victim's lanai. Deputies say they took off heading north on I-75 before crashing into a deputy's car near the University Parkway exit. Deputies linked the men to another home burglary on Caracara Street in that same neighborhood as well. All 4 have now been charged with burglary, and the driver also is facing a count of fleeing to elude. School districts across the state are scrambling to meet new school security requirements recently signed into law. And tonight, we'll take a closer look at the most controversial option, the new School Guardian program. The program allows trained school faculty members to carry a concealed firearm. It's based off of nearby Polk County's Sentinel program. The sheriff there, Grady Judd, deployed a similar program at Southeastern University in Lakeland back in 2016. He trained 8 faculty members to shoot, fight, and stop an active shooter.
We're not just randomly handing out guns. We're training people who are willing and capable to become law enforcement officers in a very, very narrow role, but a very vital role.
Sheriff Judd and others will make their case for the Guardian program, and a local teacher will show us some of the required training before giving guns to school employees. That's all coming up tonight at 6, right here on ABC 7. Closer to home, Sarasota County Sheriff Tom Knight still looking to hire 14 deputies to patrol 12 elementary schools. As part of the School Resource Deputy program, those new deputies will work 10 months a year and reportedly make around $43,000 once they're certified. Overall, the program is expected to cost more than $1 million. And happening tomorrow, Tweet from the Beat returns with a twist from the Sarasota Police Department. Friday's virtual ride-along will be with the department's Marine Patrol, allowing followers to see how they patrol Suncoast waters. Look for their account on Twitter under Sarasota PD. New at noon, the managing director and CEO of the Players Center for Performing Arts has resigned. Michelle Bianchi announcing on Facebook page that this morning that she is stepping down. Bianchi writing she began 17 years ago as a volunteer and worked her way up. She didn't say why she's quitting, but did say in her post it takes courage to fight for what is right for yourself. Her resignation comes as the Players is getting ready to leave Sarasota's Bayfront and move into a new facility in Lakewood Ranch. Still to come in your Suncoast News, more on the effect that a new study claims eating dark chocolate has on your brain. And caught on camera, a woman is attacked by a pit bull while sitting on the subway in New York City.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG, and Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $239 a month or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC7 and these sponsors.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now before it's too late.
Make us fly! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76 degrees, the current air temperature with a lot of sunshine out there and a few fair weather clouds, but that's all, just a few. We have a 61 degree dew point too, still very comfortable, that dew point value. We started the morning off with dew points in the upper 50s. And so consequently, we had temperatures this morning which were a few degrees cooler than they were 24 hours ago as we had more of a northwesterly, actually a northwesterly wind this morning. Well, those winds shifting to the west will eventually shift to the southwest later today, and that will start the process of increasing moisture across the area, surface moisture across the area, as we get that fetch of air coming up out of the south off of Gulf waters and then over land. 10-mile-an-hour wind right now. That's going to be pretty much the way it is this afternoon and into the evening hours, about a 10-mile-per-hour wind or so. 77 degrees, Mayaca City, Arcadia coming in at 78, 75 in Parrish, Bradenton at 76, so Sarasota, Venice at 76, Inglewood at 74, 73, Longboat Key. We've had this kind of onshore wind flow for several days in a row now, and it's helped to kind of moderate the temperatures, especially along the coastline. If those winds shifted 180 degrees, they came in from the east, we know that to be a warming wind, and that would warm our temperatures up much more than they have been over the last several days. Well, that's going to happen, but that's not going to happen until next week. So we still get these temperatures that are running a degree or so below the average, or certainly even today a degree or two below where they were 24 hours ago because of that onshore wind flow. Now, as we progress through the afternoon, we'll watch the temperatures rise up. They'll come up to around 80 degrees for a daytime high by around 3 p.m. under plenty amount of sunshine. And then as we head into 7 p.m., beautiful, beautiful sunset, I think. I think maybe even more spectacular than it was yesterday because we're going to get some of those higher level clouds in here, I think, from showers and thunderstorms that are way back to the west. Watch the Futurecast. We'll put it into motion. Go through this evening. Looks pretty good. Tomorrow, I think we might see a few of these showers around. I don't think we'll see a lot of them around today, but as we head into Friday, not particularly in the morning, but in the afternoon, we'll see a line of these showers begin to sink south across the region. And the reason for that is that cold front that is approaching the area. There's a lot of dry air still in place aloft, though, despite the fact that I mentioned surface moisture might be rising a little bit. Aloft, the air is still very dry, and there's a very small window of time to get moisture into that upper atmosphere, and it's just really not going to happen. So that front is going to have a very difficult time producing much in the way of rainfall for us. About a 30% chance. That would be about it for showers on Friday. West wind coming in at about 10 shifts southwest this evening. And then after a daytime high topping out today at around 79 degrees, tomorrow we see it just slightly warmer and that 30% chance of an afternoon shower, followed by Saturday clearing and a kind of a nice day. We'll get some drier air in here. Again, it'll be a lovely day similar to today. And then on Sunday, we'll start to warm things up as we switch that wind around to the east, as I mentioned. And that warm up will take place each and every day next week with temperatures back into the mid-80s. Scott?
John, thank you. In Health Smart, new findings and research related to dark chocolate and how it can help your brain. ABC's Tara Palmieri explains in this Medical Minute.
Yes, foods rich in antioxidants are good for you. Fruits, vegetables, and yes, even wine and dark chocolate promote heart health. In fact, cocoa, the active ingredient in dark chocolate, has already been shown to improve high blood pressure. New research presented today, however, looks at how cocoa affects your brain and immune system. This is admittedly a tiny study presented at a medical meeting, but these researchers say in response to one dark chocolate bar, patients had an increase in brain connectivity on a test called an EEG. Some scientists believe this kind of activity is linked to better learning and memory. And there's more good news. Researchers also found an increase in anti-inflammatory markers in the patient's blood after eating the chocolate. There is a catch. Researchers used dark chocolate with 70% cocoa, an amount that is typically associated with the darkest of dark chocolate. Milk chocolate usually has more added sugar and milk, limiting the positive effects of the cocoa. So choose wisely when you claim to eat chocolate for your health. With this Medical Minute, I'm Tara Palmieri, ABC News.
Romaine lettuce continues to cause illness across the country. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reporting 31 new cases of E. coli-related illness linked to romaine grown in Arizona. That brings the number of people affected now since mid-March to 84 across 19 states, but does not include Florida. The CDC says it's concerned because 42 people have already been hospitalized, which is much higher than most E. coli outbreaks. They're now working to determine why this case is so severe. Florida officials revealing the 9 health plans the state wants to sign contracts with to provide health care to nearly 4 million residents. The decision is not final yet, but groups that would be shut out of the state's Medicaid program have said they plan on challenging it. If this agency's decision stands, the plan will operate across the state, offering Medicaid beneficiaries access to a traditional plan and a separate child welfare specialty plan. Under the plan, Best Care Assurance would operate under the name Horizon Health in Sarasota County. Well, it's lunchtime, so let's head over to the kitchen and say hello to our good friend Chef Jose from Louis Modern in Sarasota. Jose, great to have you back in the kitchen. What's for lunch today?
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Today we are going to be making a estado poblano, vegan estado poblano.
Sounds delicious. See you in a little bit, Chef.
Thank you.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it today at Sunset Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Experience the Classical Music Celebration May 11th and 12th at the historic Sarasota Opera House. World-class musicians include guitar duo Charisma, currently touring with Andrea Bocelli. Tickets available online or by phone.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Caught on camera, New York City police are searching for the owner of a dog that after a woman was attacked by the animal on the subway. Hazel Sanchez has the story.
It's not unusual to find a dog on a train in New York City, but riders say a pit bull attacking a passenger is beyond crossing the line.
Okay, just get the dog off.
I am as outraged as anyone when I saw that.
MTA Chairman Joe Lota says the Transportation Authority and the NYPD are investigating the attack. Passenger Taisi King recorded it with his phone. He says the pit bull went after the woman here in the red jacket as she was arguing with its owner about the dog sitting on the bench next to her.
She's like, the dog don't belong on the seat. He's like, I'm not moving my dog.
She pushes it. What is this dog doing on the chair? He's jumping on her, but she moves back. And that's when he catches hold of her shoe and he was not letting it go.
Chairman Lota made no excuses when we asked how the dog got on the train.
There's no reason in the world why that dog was allowed, one, on board, down to the platform, on the train, but let alone harassing one of my passengers.
MTA rules prohibit animals on mass transit unless they are enclosed in a container or are a licensed service animal, harnessed or leashed. The NYPD and transit workers are responsible for enforcing the regulations, but riders have captured many instances where animals are easily getting on board without detection.
It's not even like a retriever or that's helping like a blind person. I don't even know how a pit bull gets on the train.
Lack of police enforcement at the station.
I know the NYPD is focused on that now. I also know that our employees are aware of what the rules are.
In 2017, police issued 85 summonses to riders for having an unauthorized animal on a subway or bus. 20 riders have been busted so far this year. The penalty, a $25 fine, which some might say isn't much of a deterrent.
That's Hazel Sanchez reporting from New York City. The NYPD says they are in contact with that woman who was attacked. Let's get back over to the kitchen. John is there today with Chef Jose from Louis Modern in Sarasota. John?
And it's always a pleasure to have you in the kitchen, Jose.
Thank you, John.
Thanks for. Oh, I tell you what, I'm great because this is one of my favorite dishes ever. I'm anxious to see how you do it.
Okay, we are going to start by baking the poblano, so we can take the skin off so it can be a little bit more tender.
Now, poblano's one of the hotter chilies or one of the more mild
chilies? Actually, it's one of the lower ones.
Well,
so it's not
quite as
mild
hot.
flavor. So it's not. A lot of people think that it's a bigger jalapeno, which
right.
It's not. So it's a mild flavor, so it's not going to be hot.
Closer to almost like a green pepper, but right. A little bit tangier.
A little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
So we're going to start by just rubbing a little bit of oil. And we are going to bake it on 350 degrees for like, I will say 6 and 8 minutes.
Okay.
So after 6 and 8 minutes, we are going to see the blisters.
Boy, those look good.
Right.
Now, what does baking it do like that? What is what's the point of baking them? I know soften them up, obviously.
And besides that, we can take the skin off, which is going to make the pepper a little bit softer and sweeter.
Okay.
So after that, we are going to start making our stuffing, which is going to be a little bit of garlic. Onions.
Love the smell of garlic. So good.
We are going to cook it for like, I will say like a couple minutes.
Okay.
After 2 minutes, we are going to add the acorn squash, mushroom, and some savory herbs. I'm using some sage, thyme, rosemary.
Oh, that would work so well with a chili. Like
and we are going to cook it for another 8 minutes. So after 8 minutes, nice. The filling is going to look like this.
Okay.
So after that, we are going to cut in the middle of the poblano. We are going to take the seeds out, and we are going to start stuffing the poblano.
And to take the skin off, how did you do that?
We are gonna use, I will say, a wet towel.
Okay.
You kind of like just rub it.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
so
gonna
there's no
start seeing this.
peeling
Yeah,
involved,
you're gonna
nothing
see.
like
Yeah, just
that.
peeling. You're gonna see the skin coming out.
Uh-huh.
And
I
you can
see
peel
that.
as much as possible.
Okay.
So
Okay,
it's gonna
that's
look like
very
this.
easy, yep.
Yeah. After that, you're gonna stop your poblano, kind of like just press it a little bit.
So are you just trying to get the air gaps out of the inside? Is that
Right.
what you're doing there? Okay.
So after that, our sauce is gonna consist of fresh corn, dried chilies, tomatoes, onions, and garlic.
So using red chilies there, it looks like?
It's actually pasilla, dry chilies.
Pasilla, right. Those are the ones you get in the big cellophane bags.
Right. So we are gonna probably boil it for like 25 minutes, then strain it and blend it.
Okay.
And the sauce is gonna look just like this.
Oh, no kidding.
It's almost like a
Wonderful. Okay.
vegetable mole.
Uh-huh.
So we are gonna use, I will say about 3 tablespoons right on the center. We are gonna top it with the poblano. And to garnish it, I'm gonna use some roasted peel bits.
Oh, nice.
And I have some zoodles, which is zucchini. Look like noodles. So
Well,
we got
while you go
our
ahead and
bits.
finish garnishing that, I'm just going to mention to the viewers
So
that
roasted
the
red
recipe
bits.
is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining link page. It'll take you right there with all the video instructions from Jose himself. Oh, now you're putting on some microgreens. And, oh, my goodness.
And I got
the finished product right over here. If you can take a look at that, it's absolutely gorgeous. Wow. Does that look like a lovely, lovely meal?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chef.
Appreciate it.
Always a
Good
pleasure.
to see you.
We'll be right back. That looks great.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Lease a new Subaru Impreza today for just $155 a month. Or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Holly Robinson Pete.
And I'm Rodney Pete. And after 16 years in the NFL, it came as no surprise that knee surgery might be in my future.
And when the doctor said Rodney needed to lose weight before surgery, we knew that Lipozene could help him lose 4 times more weight. It's America's #1 weight loss supplement.
I've already lost 30 pounds in 4 pant sizes. I didn't need a prescription or meal plan.
I've lost 10 pounds, I have more energy, more stamina.
We eat our favorite foods and still lose 4 times more weight.
I'm very impressed with Rodney's weight loss. His blood pressure and cholesterol have really improved. I recommend Lipozene because it's made from the rare konjac root, which contains glucomannan, a very safe and effective weight loss supplement.
Lipozene has no harmful side effects. No caffeine, no jitters, no counting calories.
No cleanses.
No starved diets.
No boot camps.
Nothing in your lifestyle needs to change. Just add Lipozene.
In a clinical study, people were not asked to change their lifestyle and simply add Lipozene. As a result, they lost not just twice the weight, not 3 times, but they lost 4 times more weight just by adding Lipozene. And 78% of that weight loss was fat, not water, but fat.
Rodney and I guarantee that you will lose weight or your money back.
Can we say that?
Yep, guaranteed or your money back. So get Lipozene and lose 4 times more weight.
Now you can lose 4 times more weight. Just add Lipozene for only $29.95. Call right now and we'll double your order for free and ship it free too. And for a limited time, we'll double the size of each bottle for free. So now you have 4 times the Lipozene for just $29.95. Plus, you'll get Metabo Up Plus to help boost your energy and metabolism. But you must call. Call 800-379-2824, 800-379-2824, 800-379-2824.
I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at SCORE.org.
Coming up, members of President Trump's cabinet in question as the commander-in-chief's nominee to lead the VA pulls his name out of the running. Plus, why Broward County Sheriff may have lost the confidence of his deputies. And a Sarasota-based cheerleader is proposing a unique settlement to the NFL and its commissioner involving a discrimination lawsuit.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. After receiving the full backing of the White House, President Trump's nominee to lead the Department of Veterans Affairs now withdrawing from the nomination process amid allegations of professional misconduct. ABC's Serena Marshall has the latest now from Washington.
The president's pick to run the VA bowing out. In a statement, Ronnie Jackson said these false allegations have become a distraction for this president and the important issue we must be addressing: how we give the best care to our nation's heroes. But this morning, the president still defending him on Fox and Friends.
He would have done a great job. A tremendous heart. These are all false accusations that were made. These are false. They're trying to destroy a man.
Nearly 24 of Jackson's current and former colleagues told the Senate committee overseeing his confirmation that he was, quote, abusive, volatile, and the worst officer I have ever served with. He's also been accused of drinking on duty and wrecking a government vehicle while drunk.
It should be very easy to prove that. Not wrecking the car.
Perhaps most damning, accusations he doled out prescription drugs on Air Force One and kept questionable records about controlled substances like the sleeping aid Ambien and the powerful opioid Percocet, something Jackson also vehemently denies.
I have no idea where that's coming from.
But opioid use, a major issue facing the next head of the VA, who'd be responsible for helping veterans who, according to the National Institutes of Health, are roughly twice as likely as the general public to become addicted to opioids.
Dr. Jackson has had at least 4 independent background investigations conducted during his time at the White House.
Today, while no longer the possible VA secretary, he is still on the job as the White House doctor. As for who may be next, the president said he has someone in mind for the next VA secretary. He wouldn't reveal who, only to say that person has political experience. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
The Supreme Court is continuing to tackle the Trump administration's travel ban today. Arguments will continue as the 9 justices weigh the legality of the ban's third version. This version of the ban mostly targets people from 7 Muslim-majority countries from entering the U.S., but the Trump administration denies it's a Muslim ban.
Let me say first that hate has no place here and the Muslim ban is unconstitutional.
We do not ban people because of their religion. And let's be clear, that's what this ban does.
Justice Alito questioned if the phrase Muslim ban was appropriate, but early indications show the conservative judges and Justice Anthony Kennedy, a swing vote, seem to side with the White House. A decision from the court, though, is not expected to come down until June. We are now just hours away from a historic summit in South Korea. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and South Korean President Moon Jae-in. The Seoul says that the 2 world leaders will sign an agreement focusing on North Korea's nuclear program. Officials say Moon will meet Kim at the border, inspect the honor guard, and then start formal talks. They will also plant a tree to symbolize the meeting. The Senate Judiciary Committee is expected to vote on a bill today designed to protect Special Counsel Robert Mueller's job, legislation that has split Republicans as President Trump has repeatedly criticized Mueller's Russia investigation. The bill would give any special counsel a 10-day window to seek expedited judicial review of a firing. A handful of Republicans have supported it, but most have opposed it, arguing it's unconstitutional. And it appears former FBI Director James Comey has a bestseller on his hands. The New York Times reports early sales figures show Comey's book, A Higher Loyalty, Truth, Lies, and Leadership, sold more than 600,000 copies across all formats during its first week on sale. That ranks it #1 on the newspaper's nonfiction bestsellers list. New developments on former President George H.W. Bush, who is now out of intensive care. His spokesman says the 93-year-old is alert and talking as he recovers from an infection that spread to his blood. The spokesman adds the former president will likely remain at a Houston hospital for several more days. The former president was admitted to the hospital Sunday morning, just hours after funeral services for his wife, former First Lady Barbara Bush. Sources say Bush was hospitalized with an infection that led to sepsis, which can be life-threatening. New at noon, an American Airlines flight makes an early morning emergency landing in North Carolina. That flight from Dallas landed at Raleigh-Durham International just before 1 o'clock in the morning after an indicator light went off during the flight. Flight attendants then smelled an odor on board, and that forced the passengers and the crew to evacuate through the main door on the runway. Passengers say they never saw any signs of smoke. Now maintenance crews are evaluating that plane. Take a look at this. The green spots on radar moving north. It's not wind, rain, or UFOs. Those are birds. Many bird species are heading back north for the summer with cold weather coming to an end, and the National Weather Service's radar in Texas caught some of that migration. So if you look up and see giant flocks blocking the sun, don't panic. They're just doing what they've done for many, many years. Heading north, like our snowbirds.
Yeah,
back
right.
North.
Exactly. Interesting. The bird migration. You're talking about bird migration. I read an article just yesterday about how a changing climate is causing birds to nest and mate earlier. So it's kind of interesting change in pattern there. So
They don't have to wait so long. Yeah.
I guess not.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. We are looking at some changing weather over the next 24 hours for us. Today, kind of similar to yesterday, actually, not much change here. Sarasota Bay webcam doesn't show a whole lot in the way of any kind of cloud cover across our region that's going to cause us problems today. And quite contrary, actually, a lot of blue sky out there. Satellite view shows the cellular nature of a few fair weather clouds, but nothing, as I mentioned, that'll produce rain showers. Most of these clouds rapidly moving from west to east across the region, kind of following the flow pattern that's pretty deep in the atmosphere, actually. We have some showers back to the west of us, a comma-shaped cloud pattern. Part of a low-pressure area and cold front gradually drifting in this direction, producing rain showers right now in and around the Atlanta airport. Temperatures are nice, pleasant, a little below average for this time of year, coming in around the upper 70s to mid-70s, a little cooler near the coast. We'll top it out today with a daytime high temperature of about 80 degrees. And as I mentioned, the relative humidity is still very comfortable out there. I think we'll probably see that last about another, say, 18, 20 hours, and then we'll start to get a little bit more moisture in here for tomorrow. But the weekend doesn't look bad. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
All right, John, thank you. Happening across the state, a fraternity at the University of Central Florida is now being suspended because of an incident at an off-campus party. 2 students are accused of raping a woman at that party. Police say it happened at a home used by the fraternity for parties, and one of the accused is a former member of the Alpha Tau Omega fraternity. David Kirk and Jack Smith are charged with sexual battery. The fraternity itself faces 6 charges, 1 for disruptive conduct, 5 others for alcohol-related misconduct. Florida has a little more time to change the process for giving voting rights back to felons. A federal appeals court sided with the state late last night to put an ongoing legal battle over voting rights on hold, at least for now. In March, a federal judge had given officials until today to create a new process, claiming the current system is unconstitutional. Right now, the sheriff from the Parkland school shooting is in the hot seat. Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel facing a no-confidence vote from his own deputies. If the vote goes against him, as is expected, the Broward Sheriff's Office Deputies Association will likely call for Israel's removal. However, they do not have any authority to do so. The head of the deputies union says Sheriff Israel has refused to take responsibility for the Parkland school shooting, and department morale has been crushed. Voting closes at 2 o'clock this afternoon. A follow-up now on a former New Orleans Saints cheerleader who is suing the NFL. Bailey Davis's attorney says her client wants a 4-hour sit-down meeting with the NFL commissioner to discuss a history of alleged discrimination against cheerleaders around the league. If the commissioner agrees, she will settle the lawsuit for $1. Davis says the Saints fired her in January after she posted a picture in a one-piece on Instagram. The Saints claimed it was in violation of their policies, but also said in a statement they denied Davis was treated any differently because of her gender. Davis's attorney says if the team and the NFL mean what they say, they should accept this meeting.
Them to spend any money. We're not asking them to admit fault. We're not asking them to say they're sorry. If they're serious, this is a risk-free, financially free way of addressing these very important issues.
Davis and her attorney are asking the NFL for a response by next Friday. New details about an injured sandhill crane who was seen for months in the Mayaca City area walking around with an arrow through it. We want to warn you, some of the images are graphic. The X-ray shows the arrow pierced the bird through the lower abdomen. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office has been keeping an eye out for it for several months and finally spotted it on Wednesday. Wildlife experts were finally able to rescue it, and they brought it in to a vet to remove that arrow. The crane is now recovering at Wildlife Incorporated.
Malicious thing done by somebody. Why they would want to shoot a sandhill crane? They don't bother people. It's not like they would be damaging anybody's livestock or anything like that.
Sandhill crane is expected to make a full recovery and be released in the coming days. The birds are protected and considered a threatened species in Florida. Authorities are hopeful the arrow's identification information will lead them to who did this, and that person could face a $15,000 fine. An update now on the city of Sarasota's controversial Lift Station 87 project. That project manager warned neighbors it was about to get loud, and he was not kidding. This week, construction crews started installing sheet piling at the site on Mound Street near 301 in Lukewood Park. The city says residents can expect extra noise from that site. Work has been going on from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. off and on over the last 10 years at that site. It's scheduled to be complete by the year 2020. The project team installed a vibration monitor in a nearby condo complex. If monitors detect excessive vibration, the contractor says they will modify the construction approach. They expect the extra noise to last for the next 2 months. Happening today, Manatee County will host an expo on preparing for this year's hurricane season. It's called We Survived Hurricane Irma in 2017. Are you ready for 2018? It's free and open to the public, and it happens tonight from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Bradenton Area Convention Center in Palmetto. Also happening today, it's Bring Your Kids to Work Day at Doctors Hospital in Sarasota. The event offers hospital staff an opportunity to show their children what they do and experience a behind-the-scenes look at what happens inside a hospital.
Apparently you go to work all the time, and all the kids know is that you're leaving and then you're coming back, but they hardly ever get to see what you really do. So that's a great opportunity for them to actually get to see what's going on.
The kids love the opportunity to see where mom and dad are each day. The parents and staff love it because it's just another extension of our family. And we try to create that family environment here so everybody gets to be part of it.
Right now, the kids are getting a chance to see the hospital's new robot that's being used for surgeries. They'll wrap up the day by dressing like surgeons themselves and then trying their hand at controlling that robot. Sounds like fun. Still to come in your Suncoast News today, how Amazon is hoping to appeal to kids and their parents in an update coming soon to the popular Alexa Assistant.
The Spring Fever sales event is going on now at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota. Drive a new 2018 Corolla for only $79 per month, the all-new 2018 Camry for only $119 per month, and 2018 RAV4 for just $129 per month at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
I need medical exams, things like that.
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number, or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
Experience
Experience the classical music celebration May 11th and 12th at the historic Sarasota Opera House. World-class musicians include guitar duo Charisma, currently touring with Andrea Bocelli. Tickets available online or by phone.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76-degree air temperature, plenty of sunshine out there. Dew point value 71. Mwah! That's perfect weather. Can't beat it. And that's the way it's going to be throughout the day today, despite the fact that our winds will probably shift from west to a more southwesterly direction. We might get a little bit more humidity around here as we head into the evening, and particularly overnight. When you wake up tomorrow morning, I think you'll probably notice that it's a little stickier. Probably be a little warmer as well tomorrow morning than it was this morning because of the increase in dew points. That's kind of in advance of a frontal boundary headed our way. That frontal my clicker's stuck. I'll have to walk over here to the computer and actually do it myself. That's in advance of a frontal boundary that's headed our way. That frontal boundary will continue to bring us that chance of rain showers over the course of the next several days. Winds generally speaking out of the west, but trying to get a little bit of a southwesterly direction today, and that will occur probably in the afternoon. Wind speeds will not be all that great though, at about 5 to 10. Today's planner shows a 3 p.m. temperature coming in around 79, about 75 degrees by sunset, and a few high-level clouds might give the sunset a very pretty appearance. As we head into the overnight, temperatures fall into the 60s, and that will be the case tomorrow morning, probably upper 60s. Low pressure area advances toward the east, bringing Atlanta some rainfall today. Showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two across the state of Florida develop tomorrow morning, mostly to the north of us. And then as they head closer to us, they start to develop probably around the lunchtime hour. And then as we head into the afternoon, you'll see that occur probably in our area from about noon to probably around 5, 6 o'clock. Then things start to clear up. For boaters today, west wind turning to the southwest at about 10, 2-foot seas, light chop. We have a couple of tides to talk about. 11:34 was our last high tide. Low tide comes at 6:04. I'm getting there. 79 degrees on Thursday as we head into Friday. A 30% chance of rain showers in the afternoon. And then on Saturday, 79, Sunday, 84. And then the next couple of days looks sunny and mild with moderate temperatures. Scott?
John, thank you. In consumer news, politeness will soon count when it comes to talking to Alexa. Amazon says after an update next month, Alexa will thank children who ask questions nicely. The update, called Free Time on Alexa, will also include parental controls that will block kids from making voice purchases and filter explicit lyrics from songs. Amazon hopes this new update will help keep kids safe as they use the product on their own. Well, Facebook isn't going away even after its recent massive data scandal. The social media giant says its number of daily active users rose during the first quarter of 2018. There were 185 million such users. That's up 1 million from the previous quarter. Company officials say nearly 1.5 billion people log on to Facebook daily worldwide, a 13% hike year over year. AAA reports deaths from hit-and-run crashes in the United States are at an all-time high. The new study shows more than 2,000 people were killed by hit-and-run crashes in 2016 alone. That is a 62% increase from 2009. Most victims of these fatal hit-and-run crashes were pedestrians or cyclists. New Mexico, Louisiana, and Florida top the list of states with the highest death rates. Ford buyers will have less options in the future. The automaker deciding to stop selling its Fiesta, Taurus, Fusion, and Focus sedans in the United States. Ford officials say the only passenger car models that will stay in production are the Mustang and the upcoming Ford Focus Active. That's a hatchback-like vehicle set to make its debut next year. But Ford will continue to offer all of its trucks, SUVs, and crossovers, which are selling much better than those more traditional sedans. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how experts say Avengers: Infinity War could turn out to have the biggest weekend in box office history.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota for big savings on new Ram trucks during the spring sales event. Shop the area's largest selection of new Ram trucks. Get the all-new redesigned 2018 Ram Quad Cab for as little as $23,999. Or save big and get up to $12,400 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota today.
When you are home alone, an emergency can become a tragedy. However, with any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
at home,
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
and on the go.
Help! I've fallen in the park and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-518-0221. That's 1-800-518-0221. Call now, 1-800-518-0221. For a free brochure, call 1-800-518-0221.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
In entertainment news, got your tickets already for Avengers Infinity War? Well, you're not alone. We're just hours away from Marvel's highly anticipated opening, and it's looking more and more like a record breaker. The Atom Tickets app shows the movie has its highest pre-sale volume ever, and that pre-sale is doubling day over day. The biggest three-day opening weekend in domestic history is Star Wars: The Force Awakens at $248 million. One of ABC's biggest hits is Quantico, and it returns to TV tonight. Our own Stephanie Webb got the chance to catch up with the star of the show, Priyanka Chopra.
She is one of ABC's toughest leading ladies. Priyanka Chopra is back for another season of Quantico.
Well, congratulations to you. We are heading into the 3rd season now of Quantico. It kicks off tonight. Now, am I right? This one picks up 3 years later?
Season 2 ends at a place where Alex just leaves. She's just had it. She's had enough of everything that's happening in her life, and she just needs a moment. And this season starts with what happens 3 years later. And there are a lot of changes that have happened in her life, in everybody else's life. And she lives in this tranquil village in Montepulciano, Italy, which is off of Tuscany. I mean, who wouldn't want to live there? But Ryan comes back and gets her because Shelby has been kidnapped.
She's alive. We put her on the phone for just a second, but they're going to kill her in 72 hours if you and I don't give her what they need.
And her country needs her. So Alex packs bags and comes back to America, and they form a secret Black Ops group, which is made of the most good-looking people on the planet. Go figure. And then that's Quantico Season 3.
All right, well, thank you so much. Now, speaking of Season 3, we're going to see some new faces. So you've got some big new names that are coming to the cast, right?
Yes, we have Marlee Matlin, who we're very excited to have. She, I mean, my only question to her is where she keeps her Academy Award every day, but She's an incredible actress and such a wonderful asset to the show. And then we have Alan Powell, who's also an amazing, very amazing actor who's come on board the show, and maybe a sort of love interest, maybe.
All right, thank you so much. Best of luck to you on season 3. We'll look forward to checking it out tonight. Thanks, Priyanka.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you.
All right, Stephanie, thanks. Remember, you can see the return of Quantico tonight at 10 o'clock right here on ABC 7. And one of Chopra's best friends, Meghan Markle, says farewell to acting. Meghan Markle's big day is less than a month away now, and the royal-to-be made her last appearance on USA Network's Suits last night. Markle is set to marry Prince Harry in London on May 19th. She had indicated in an interview alongside the prince that she intends to quit acting after getting married. Suits will continue on without Markle's character. Speaking of that royal wedding, memorabilia at Windsor Castle for the big day is selling fast. Tourists are snatching up everything from commemorative mugs to plates and fridge magnets. Thousands of people are expected to line the streets near Windsor for the big day next month.
Would you go for the plate or the refrigerator magnet?
I would go for the magnet, I think.
Yeah, it's more utilitarian.
Yes.
It's more things you could
You can hang a paper underneath it.
Exactly right. You know, like movie theater tickets.
The plate I'll never
whatever.
use.
No, it'll just collect dust in the closet. I couldn't agree more. Nice day shaping up for you. Plenty of sunshine out there. Bob's Inner 5 with details on tomorrow's weather.
Hope to see you then, everyone.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today. And named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in a car accident, the state of Florida only gives you a specific amount of time to file a claim. So act now, give us a call.
Each day, researchers make discoveries that bring us closer to the moment when all cancer patients can become survivors. Their progress is made possible with the help of clinical trials. Clinical trials are the brightest torch researchers have to light their way towards better treatments. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer, they may be your brightest ray of hope. Speak with your doctor and visit standuptocancer.org/clinical trials to learn more. Together, we can stand up for all of us.
My name is Blake. I received a heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go. I know I have someone else's heart inside me. It makes me feel happy because someone was generous enough to give me a second chance to live.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Get all the local information you need before you leave home in the morning. Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC 7 to get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. ABC 7, we're here for you.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app.